buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeart Radio app. WINCA Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good. We are Fox Sports. Here's what you need to know on Fox Sports 940 Miami.
Been making it look rather easy last night in their game 3-6-1 win. The Panthers have a 2-day break before resuming the Stanley Cup final Thursday and Sunrise against Edmonton, leading 2-1. Coach Paul Maurice today saying the Oilers played their best game last year after the Cats took a huge advantage in their best of 7 and expects the same response in game 4. The Dolphins opened their 3-game mandatory minicamp this morning. Coach Mike McDaniel said, as expected, Jalen Ramsey with an excused absence and Jonnu Smith are not present and wouldn't say if he'll be fined. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa also speaking, saying he's focusing on staying on the field this season instead of making one play to show he's competitive. The Marlins, losers of 8 of their last 9, played the second of their 3-game series in Pittsburgh tonight. Sandy Alcantara is scheduled to take the hill for the Fish. Coverage here on Fox Sports 940 Miami begins at 6. Inter Miami CF held its second training session of the week today. Jordi Alba is working back from injury, while keeper Oscar Ustari returned to practice, expecting to draw the start in goal for Saturday's Club World Cup opener and the 2026 Formula One schedule released today, with the Miami Grand Prix officially slated for May 3rd. I'm Eric Rodriguez, Fox Sports 940 Miami.
Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from PNC Park here in Pittsburgh, the Steel City, on a 72-degree Tuesday night. Delightful day for baseball. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940 Miami. It's game 65 of 162, and last night the Marlins displayed some sloppy defense in a 3-error game against the Pirates to drop game 1, but a chance to flush it tonight after a much-needed quality start for Sandy Alcantara last week. He's hoping to steer the ship in the right direction in this middle game against the team he saw on opening day 75 days ago. We're pumped to bring you game 2 of this 3-game set between the 27-40 Pittsburgh Pirates and your 24-40 Miami Marlins. The aforementioned Sandy Alcantara will toe the slab for the 13th time this season. He will go opposite Mitch Keller, 29-year-old right-hander. He's set to make his 14th start of the season for Don Kelly's Bucks. First pitch slated for 6:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Tuesday night. Welcome back, Mr. Jack McMullen. Great to have him back in the Marlins Radio booth. Scott Kornberg with us as well. I'm Steven Strom, and we're going to bounce around here tonight. I got a ton to get to. We do have a power-packed broadcast. I also fear we're going the distance, and of course, we thank you for your participation. We'll start here with Yuri Perez on last night. We also got the news that Ryan Weathers is off to the 60-day IL. Got some sound from Clayton yesterday. Sandy on his start tonight. Got him yesterday in the clubhouse, so we'll play that. We'll get you out of the count, of course, with Sandy and Mitch Keller. Jack and Scott will join the program in segment 4. X-Poll question of today at Marlins Radio, and, of course, Steve's guarantee to victory. So we'll start here with Yuri Perez. That was the headliner in Game 1 last night. He did only go 3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 5 punch-outs, and 2 walks. We asked Clayton today how he's doing. He said he was recovering well. But if you missed it last night, let's hear from Yuri, translated by Louis Durante, on his first start in 2025.
No, súper bien. Me sentí súper bien. La salud está súper bien. El brazo estaba respondiendo bien. Cosas que pasaron en el juego ahí, pero con la mente positiva para el siguiente. Eso es lo que me llevo.
Oh, thankful with God, His will is perfect. I'm thankful, I feel healthy. My arm was responding. There was a few things, situation of the game that, have to work really hard on that, but very thankful.
What did that first strikeout feel like?
¿Cómo se sintió ese primer punch?
Súper bien, después de tanto tiempo, no solo el trayado, sino todo lo que pasó en el juego se sintió súper bien, porque fue mucho tiempo fuera del terreno, y al volver me sentí súper bien con todo lo que hice.
It felt good, not only the strikeout, there was a situation in the game that I missed, and there was every single detail of being out there that felt so good.
Was it more similar or different than your MLB debut versus your first since Tommy John?
¿Fue similar o distinto a lo que fue ese debut en Grandes Ligas, ahorita regresar de nuevo?
Sí, algo similar. Después de tanto tiempo se siente igual. Las mismas emociones de volver a un juego de Grandes Ligas. La gente esperando lo mejor que yo dé lo mejor de mí. Se siente súper bien, la adrenalina igual, pero nada es como el debut, porque es un primer día en Grandes Ligas. Es súper diferente en alguna parte, pero después de una operación, todo el tiempo que tomó se siente en alguna cosa igual.
Yeah, it's something similar to that feeling coming back, But it is not. It's just like the debut is the first time, but just coming out there, I think that it was it's similar.
All right, so that was Yuri Perez. Great job, fantastic job, per usual, by the great Louis Durante. And for Yuri, again, 3 innings yesterday, 4 hits, 4 runs, 5 punch-outs, and 2 walks. Got that fastball up to 99.7. Let's round up for triple digits. His next start, he is slated for Sunday. So from one good news story, of course, we need to cover everything, and there was some bad news yesterday. Ryan Weathers, who left the game on Saturday in Tampa due to precautionary reasons, had an interesting day, obviously, with Nick Fortes throwing through to second, ended up hitting him on the top of the head, and then was taken out for precautionary reasons after that velo was about 91, 90 miles per hour. We got word yesterday that Ryan Weathers is off to the 60-day IL, and here's Clayton McCullough on that news.
First, I think we all do feel our thoughts, and we're talking about Weathers a lot. I mean, I think this guy, to have the type of off season he had, put himself in great shape. He looked great in the spring, and unfortunately, the little setback with the flexor, and then to get back, throwing the ball very well, and for this to come up again, I know it's a tough pill for him to swallow, and us as well, just with the unfortunate nature of how things at this point have gone. So I think right now we're just be there for Ryan and support him, knowing it's disappointing for him, I'm sure, and support him in his recovery process and look forward to getting him back when he can. When it's not arm related, you probably, feel a little bit better. But even, with this, it's going to take some time for this thing to heal and ensure that, that everything's taken care of so, he can get back out there. So I guess if there is any type of a silver lining to find from this, that it's non-arm related.
All right, so that was Marlins manager Clayton McCullough on Ryan Weathers, who has a left lat strain. He is now on the 60-day IL. This is the second time he will take a trip to the shelf. He missed the first 6 weeks of the season with a left forearm injury, and he, at the minimum, is out until August of the 9th. This year, 1-1, a 3.28 ERA, 24 2/3. Man, this happens quick here in baseball. It's pretty crazy. You try to line up and preview your starting rotation, but man, the things can change so quickly in the sport of baseball, particularly with the pitchers. That is just such a fragile position. One different arm slot, one way you contort your body this way. It's pretty crazy. I know you try not to be perfect, but you kind of have to be if you're a pitcher, because one sudden or subtle movement, all of a sudden you can end up on the 60-day IL. So just a big blow for the Marlins. Again, it was an emotional day yesterday to get Yuri back on the hill for the first time in 25, but then Ryan Weathers to the 60-day IL is just extremely disappointing, because he was on track to have one heck of a 2025. But again, 60-day IL, the minimum time that he can spend on the injured list, so the next time we'd see him possibly would be, if everything goes correctly and well, would be the month of August. We will break here. We'll get the vibes up. Let's get the vibe. It's a good day today. Sandy Alcantara toes the rubber. He was awesome last week against the Colorado Rockies. First quality start since April 23rd. We'll hear from Sandy himself as we get you ready for a 6:40 first pitch. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
Here's the 3-0. High fly ball, left center field, pretty deep. Mangum, the center fielder, back near the wall, leaping, and it's out of here. Augustine Ramirez leads off the fourth of the home run, just over the wall in left center field, and the Marlins are on the board. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Can play shortstop a lot. That pitch to Otto is crushed out to left field and deep. Mangum back, he's looking up, and it's gone. It's a one-run game. Otto Lopez again, pull side pop. He's showing it off this year, his fifth home run on the season, and it's 4-3 in the top of the eighth inning. 1-2. Sanchez lines one into right. That's in for a base hit. Fortes can trot home. Sanoja will go first to third. Jesus Sanchez not only makes it a 9-game hitting streak and a 15-game on-base streak, but he gives the Marlins the lead with the RBI single against Dolander. 1-0 Fish in the third.
Well, you got a curveball. You sped up his bat after fastballs at the top.
1-0 from Dolander. That one, a line shot up the gut and throw for a base hit. It came in at 98. It left at 106. And it plays Jesus Sanchez from third base. 2-0 Marlins in the bottom of the third on the Stowers. 3-2. That one lifted down the left field line. Stowers on his horse, tailing into foul ground. Stowers slides. Kyle made the catch. Kyle Stowers went sliding into foul territory up against that padded wall down the left field line. And Kyle Stowers takes an extra opportunity away from Mickey Moniak.
Terminix.com/Marlins to schedule your free inspection today. Terminix, where trust and protection hit a home run.
All right, we're off and running here on a Tuesday night from PNC Park. It's great to have you aboard. Marlins on deck, Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Scott Kornberg. As we get you ready for Game 2, middle game of this 3-game set, the Marlins and the Pirates, second leg of this road trip for Miami. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. Sandy Alcantara will go opposite Mitch Keller tonight, and for Sandy, just a much-needed start against the Colorado Rockies. He did not factor. He allowed 2 runs on 4 hits over 6 frames. It was his first quality start since First quality start since April 23rd of 2025. Got a chance to talk with Sandy yesterday about Yuri Perez coming back. Obviously, he's like big brother to Yuri Perez. They went through the same Tommy John, pretty much on similar timelines. We first will hear from Sandy on what it was like, or what it would have been like, to see Yuri out there on Monday night, plus some of the keys to his start here tonight in Pittsburgh.
Feels great about him. I know he's been a lot of patient, and it's been a long time without be out there and compete, and today he seemed a lot excited to be out there for the first time after TJ, and I feel very happy and proud about him.
What was it like going through the same injury pretty much at the same time too?
It's not like best moment for us, because we had a TJ, but it feels great. Have same process together, and talking together, hanging out together, going to the training room together. That was a moment that we gotta keep it for a long time now. So because we have the same squad that we never will forget, and it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful when you have time, with your best friend out there in the training room talking a lot of positive things, and trying to believe ourselves, and it's great.
Sandy, after your last start, we saw like a sense of relief, like you finally pushed through and got a good result. How was it going into this start? Do you feel like it was a little less like off your back?
Yeah, for sure. So I was looking forward to have my best outing, and finally I have my first outing pass in the last week, and hopefully tomorrow is gonna be the same for me. If God give me the opportunity, because He knows He's the one who gives the opportunity to you to have success. But yeah, so I will feel happy if I have the same game tomorrow.
And last one for me, what did you see on your start last week that you really liked?
My two-seam, my two-seam was great. The way that I was throwing strike, consistency, hitting my spot, and on a lot of ground ball. So I think finally I got my ground ball back. Yeah.
With that heavy two-seamer, was that a plan going into the game? Was that a feel thing? Was that a going against the Rockies thing? What was the reasoning behind just going so heavy on that pitch?
I watched the video from 2022, and a lot of time, and take me time to realize that I gotta use more of my two-seam, and finally I did in my last outing, and I have great success, and after throwing my two-seam, tried to be more aggressive with my breaking ball, and I just did.
So that was Sandy Alcantara yesterday talking about Yuri Perez, seeing him on the hill for the first time in 2025, and then the keys tonight. And we talked about his last start against the Rockies. His pitch mix was different than pretty much any other start because he threw that sinker, that two-seam that he's talking about 33 times out of 70 pitches. The curveball came in with the second most used pitch at 20 times, slider 17, four-seam 16, and the changeup at 14 times. When Sandy was brilliant, when Sandy won his Cy Young, that sinker was working. He was burying balls into the ground, and I think tonight is an awesome matchup for Sandy because one of the issues that Alcantara has run into was his command. He's walked 30 batters. Guess how many batters from the right side he has walked out of 30? 7. 23 walks have come against left-handed batters. And for the Pirates, they don't have a ton of optionality. They will trot out 4 lefties in that lineup. I think this is another good situation and a good spot for Sandy Alcantara to deliver a start that the Marlins really need right now. Marlins starters have tossed a combined 12 innings over their last 4 games. They need Sandy to go out there not only to put them in a position to win, but also to give them some length and give that bullpen a little bit of a break. Coming up next, we will get you ahead of the count. Mitch Keller and Sandy Alcantara will play baseball at 6:40 here tonight. It's the middle game on the Marlins Radio Network.
The pitch at the same grip. Sometimes 1-1. Lee pumps into right center field. Myers on the move. Dane Myers back to the track. Myers jumps up, and he made an insane play. Dane Myers in right center field went leaping at the wall, full speed into the padded wall, grimacing as he lays on the warning track. But Dane Myers just took an RBI double away from Jung-Hoo Lee.
That's incredible again.
13 in the game with runners in scoring position yesterday. 1-2 pitch is a roller over to third base. Arcia's got it. He's coming home, and Goodman just didn't catch the throw. Everybody up an additional 90 feet. So Sanchez to third, Augustine to second. That'll be an RBI fielder's choice, but a missed catch error on Goodman to play X from third base. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the first.
The outside pitch, especially when you have a moving fastball.
First pitch to Otto Lopez is cranked through the left side of the infield. That is a base hit. They're going to hold Augustine at third, but Sanchez scores from third. And Otto Lopez, the shortstop for the Fish, plates another an RBI single. 2-1 Marlins in the bottom of the first. 1-0 pitch to Wagaman. Lopez on the go. Wagaman hits one out to right field pretty deep. Freeman is setting up camp. He makes the catch. Otto retreats to first, but that is deep enough to plate Augustine from third base. A sacrifice fly for Eric Wagaman, a productive out number 2. Brings in another run. It's 3-1 Marlins in the bottom of the first.
Throw in order to get the guy at home with 1 out.
2-1. That one lined into left center field. Doyle on his horse. Doyle looking up, and that thing slams off the wall in left center field. Sanchez pulling into second base. No problem for Liam Hicks to score from third. It's an RBI double, and Jesus Sanchez is stinging the ball.
This is Clayton McCullough here, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Thanks, Clay. That was Clayton McCullough as he gets the boys ready here for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top reset to listen to every Marlins game. The big question tonight, did Sandy Alcantara turn the corner? He will start here tonight for the Marlins. 29-year-old right-hander has, I would say, removed the monkey off his back, but it's only one start. He comes in tonight, 2-7, a 7.89 ERA. Boy, it's nice not to see the 8. I mean, it just is. 12 starts, 57 innings pitched. He did not factor on Tuesday against the Rockies, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits over 6 frames. First quality start since April 23rd. He did face Pittsburgh. Can you believe it? 75 days ago today on opening day, 4 2/3, 2 runs, 7 punch-outs, and 4 walks. It's really been one inning for Sandy Alcantara. Can he avoid it here tonight against the Pirates? He will go opposite Mitch Keller, 29-year-old right-hander in season 7 with the Buccos. He'll make his 14th start of the season. Another guy, 1-8, a 4.13 ERA. Puzzling start for him, 76 1/3 innings pitched combined, 61 Ks to 20 walks. He has not gotten any help from his offense this season, folks. So that 1-8 record could be deceiving. The Pittsburgh Pirates have scored 2 runs or less in his last 6 starts. He did take the defeat on Thursday against the Houston Astros, allowed 6 runs on 8 hits across 6 1/3. His streak of 5 straight quality starts was snapped against the Astros, and his one win, ironically this season, came against the Miami Marlins on March 28th. 6 innings, 1 run. Keller's numbers, looked him up. League average or slightly below on everything. He'll throw 6 pitches, 4-seamer, a sweeper, a sinker, a slider, a changeup, and a curveball. So you both have 2 pitchers here. When you look at the numbers, you're like, how, why, and is it going to change? That is the case for both of these guys tonight. Hopefully it doesn't change for Keller. Nothing against the guy. Figure it out another time. For Sandy Alcantara, let's figure this thing out. Hopefully we turned a corner after last week in Colorado. We will break here. Coming up next, Scott Kornberg and Jack McMullen. Jack's back. Welcome back, buddy. He will join us. We'll talk about Sandy a little. A couple more storylines coming into tonight. Some guys have off in the lineup. We'll reveal that. That is all coming up next. Again, 6:40 first pitch. This is Marlins on Deck on the Marlins Radio Network.
On thrown on the run.
A 1 pitch is hammered out to left center field pretty deep. Hernandez is back. Track, wall. He jumps up. Hernandez made the catch. Heriberto Hernandez in his 2nd Major League game takes a 2-run home run away from Tyler Fitzgerald to end the inning.
The pitch at the same grip. Sometimes
1-1. Lee pumps into right center field. Myers on the move. Dane Myers back to the track. Myers jumps up, and he made an insane play. Dane Myers in right center field went leaping at the wall, full speed into the padded wall, grimacing as he lays on the warning track, but Dane Myers just took an RBI double away from Jung-Hoo Lee.
That's incredible again.
4th shutout for the Marlins. We've seen Edward Cabrera the last couple of seasons. We've seen the great Cabrera. We've seen the struggling Cabrera. We're seeing the consistent Cabrera. What's the evolution of him looked like through the process?
He's just attacking guys, getting ahead. His off-speed stuff looks better than ever. He's throwing strikes with it, so I think hitters have to be, conscious of all of his pitches instead of just a couple. So he's doing a really good job locating and executing everything.
How did you guys attack this Giants lineup, not just with Cabrera, with all your arms today?
Just going through the scouting report that, Mosk and the pitching coaches would give me. And they do a really good job. So just sticking with the plan, and Cabrera's doing a really good job, attacking them and executing it.
You got to give me one. Dane Myers catch or the Hernandez catch?
Man, both are great, but I think Dane's was probably one of the best catches I've ever seen. So that was unbelievable.
Where would this team be without Ronnie Enriquez?
I mean, he's been a rock out there, so he's thrown a lot of really big innings for us.
Or 500 Lock. That's 954-500-LOCK, or visit LoctiteImpact.com.
All right, we're off and running here on a Tuesday night. Fox Sports 940 Miami. Ahmed Holnip out there in the studio. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen. Welcome back, buddy. Scott Kornberg. What's going on, Jack? Let's first start with you, man. How was yesterday? How are you doing? Share with us just everything here.
I'm okay. Yeah, it was we talked about it in the fifth inning on Sunday. It was a celebration of a guy who I love dearly that lived to be 92 years old. So you know what? Herb Spiegel, he lived a heck of a life. And I got a great card that I'm going to carry with me here moving on. It was his 90th birthday 2 years ago. He made a list of 30 things he's learned in his 90 years on Earth.
Sure.
And I've got that card here. And one of them is DiLorenzo's Tomato Pies is the best pizza on the face of the earth. It was like there is no better music. I'll pull it out at some point and I'll tell you. But
there were other lessons besides that?
There were other lessons. There were 29 others. So It was good. It was a great celebration of his life. And listen, he loved this. Last time I talked to him, I FaceTimed him from a broadcast booth, man. And that's what he wanted to see happen for me. And it's just amazing. And I know that he's very happy.
We were thinking about you, but we are so happy you are back. There's never an easy way to transition from something like that into baseball. But I'm going to try, Jack. It was great to see Sandy last week against Colorado. First quality start since April 23rd. And looking at his mix, he really relied on that two-seamer, that sinker, that won him that Cy Young a couple of years back. What noticed or what jumped out to you when you looked at his mix last week against Colorado?
Okay, you ready for a weird one? Because I think you're going to say, heightened breaking pitch usage, right? I'm looking at heightened breaking pitch usage, and I'm actually saying depleted changeup usage. And it's tough because what pitch won him a Cy Young? You're right, the sinker, but also the changeup working off the sinker. It's an identical movement, but one of them is about 7 miles an hour slower. So then he got so many ground balls on that, and it took him to a Cy Young award. What did he do last time out? He threw 15% changeup, a pitch that he throws a third of the time. He threw 15% of the time. And the thing that worries you about Sandy Alcantara's changeup right now is he's not landing it for a strike.
Yep.
He didn't do that last time out. He was a 40% strike rate. Of the 10 that he threw, 4 were strikes. But that's okay because he didn't try and force feed something that wasn't working. I think this guy had insane confidence with his fastball sinker combo. It was a lot of hard stuff, and he snapped breaking balls when he needed to. And I think that this guy, if he has the changeup, that's awesome. We might see a complete game from Sandy. If he doesn't, he's figuring out a way to make a start quality without it, which is really cool, and it feels like the next step in Sandy post-Tommy John recovery.
And we were so happy about what we saw last week, but if he comes out here and lays an egg, then we're kind of back to square one. So I think this is imperative that he puts together 2 quality starts here and one against the Pittsburgh Pirates
Real
tonight.
quick, Steven. I was thinking that exact same thing, and I want your thoughts on this, Scott. I thought, okay, last week was so important. Tonight almost feels more important. Like let me do it again. Yeah, it's elevated.
You need to stack it, right? Yeah. And he hasn't done that yet at all this year. So, and he talked about how emotional he was after that last start just to get a good start in.
Yeah.
So I do agree with both you guys that if he doesn't go out there and throw well today, I think he, like from a mental perspective, that could be trouble going forward. It's also, this is a Pittsburgh offense that is not great, and you kind of need to go out there and shove against them. So I actually think this is more important than it was last week.
But, Steven, to your point, righty-heavy Pittsburgh lineup that works in Sandy's favor.
Yeah, 4 lefties in the lineup for Pittsburgh tonight in Don Kelly's squad. 30 walks for Sandy, 23 of them to lefties this season. So that's a situation where hopefully Sandy can take advantage of. And like Scott mentioned, this is a Pirates offense outside of yesterday that has generally struggled. They have really struggled when Mitch Keller's pitched. They have scored 2 runs or less in his last 6 starts, so hopefully that trend continues. Speaking of Keller, Scott, why shouldn't we judge Mitch Keller's 1-8 record?
Yeah, I think the nugget you just brought in there, Steven, they don't score for him. He is 1-8, and yes, he's not what he was in 2023 when he was an All-Star, which is what I think makes today so interesting. The high wasn't Cy Young like Sandy Alcantara, but it was an All-Star level pitcher, and he never really has duplicated that last year or this year again. So he's trying to kind of find it as well, but 1-8 is so misleading. The ERA is still in the 4, so he's been okay this year. The Pirates have lost 9 of his last 10 starts, and he's had a quality start in 7 of those. So he has pitched pretty well.
That's crazy.
He has pitched pretty well. They're just literally averaging 2 runs per game in his starts the last 10 outings for Mitch Keller. So that's why you don't trust his record. He is a pretty solid pitcher.
He is 1-8. His one win this season against the Miami Marlins on March 28th. Game 2 of 162, 6 innings and 1 run. So that's your matchup on the mound, Mitch Keller and Sandy Alcantara. Those two have your call. Jack McMullen and Scott Kornberg. Fellas, let's break here. Expo question, Steve's guarantee, and then we'll play some baseball. Marlins, Pirates, game 2 of this 3-game set from PNC Park, right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
On thrown on the run.
A 1 pitch is hammered out to left center field pretty deep. Hernandez is back. Track, wall. He jumps up. Hernandez made the catch. Heriberto Hernandez in his second major league game takes a 2-run home run away from Tyler Fitzgerald to end the inning.
The pitch at the same grip. Sometimes
1-1. Lee pumps into right center field. Myers on the move. Dane Myers back to the track. Myers jumps up, and he made an insane play. Dane Myers in right center field went leaping at the wall, full speed into the padded wall, grimacing as he lays on the warning track. But Dane Myers just took an RBI double away from Jung-Hoo Lee.
That's incredible again.
4th shutout for the Marlins. We've seen Edward Cabrera the last couple of seasons. We've seen the great Cabrera. We've seen the struggling Cabrera. We're seeing the consistent Cabrera. What's the evolution of him looked like through the process?
He's just attacking guys, getting ahead. His off-speed stuff looks better than ever. He's throwing strikes with it, so I think hitters have to be, conscious of all of his pitches instead of just a couple. So he's doing a really good job locating and executing everything.
How did you guys attack this Giants lineup, not just with Cabrera, with all your arms today?
Just going through the scouting report that, Mosk and the pitching coaches will give me, and they do a really good job. So just sticking with the plan, and Cabrera's doing a really good job, attacking them and executing it.
You got to give me one. Dane Myers catch or the Hernandez catch?
Man, both are great, but I think Dane's was probably one of the best catches I've ever seen. So that was unbelievable.
Where would this team be without Ronnie Enriquez?
He's been a rock.
Stream now.
11 minutes away from first pitch, middle game. Marlins looking to return serve with Sandy Alcantara, who is hoping and praying that he turned the corner after last week's quality start against the Colorado Rockies. Allowed 2 runs over 6 innings, his first quality start since April 23rd. Steven Strom here, Marlins on deck, Fox Sports 940 Miami. Ahmed back in Miami, holding down the studio. Scott Kornberg and Jack McMullen have your call in 10 minutes. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio. Officially, after the victory last night, the Pirates have a winning record, 15-14, under interim manager Don Kelly. Little did you know, Don Kelly played for the Marlins. Our question tonight, what years did Kelly play for Miami? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. Ahmed, may I, Steve's guarantees.
Batter up. Batter up. Let's play some ball. First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's guarantees.
I'm going to stick with Sandy here. I like him to have another quality start. We laid out why. I'll give you the numbers, too, against his, career-wise against the Pirates. 1-0, a 3 ERA in 6 starts. But here at PNC Park, he's been sensational. 1-0, a 2.86 ERA. I told you only 4 lefties in that lineup for Pittsburgh. He's got 30 total walks, 23 of them, 2 lefties. So you can negate that here tonight. Back-to-back quality starts for Sandy Alcantara. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Scott Kornberg, he's ready to rock, starting lineups in first pitch, is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It's next on the Marlins Radio Network.